Hey everyone, my name is Neil Karski and I'm the CEO of Patient Engine, a 7-figure digital marketing, lead conversion, and coaching agency for high-ticket aesthetics providers. And I would like to personally welcome you to the Aesthetic Millionaires Show, where we sit down with industry entrepreneurs to talk about their personal journeys and discuss proven growth strategies. My genuine hope is that through this podcast, we can create more success stories in this industry and help more business owners scale past their competition. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined today by the lovely CEO and owner of Absolute Laser MD in Eugene, Oregon, the infamous Michele Strobel. So thank you so much for joining us today, Michele. We appreciate you so much. How's everything going?
Everything's good. We're getting ready to celebrate our 10-year anniversary in just a couple of months in July. So, yeah, things are going well.
10-year anniversary. Well, wow. What got you into aesthetics? What got you into this industry, into making people look and feel beautiful?
That is a great question. I started out as a makeup artist for Estee Lauder. So that was the beginning. And that was like 40 years ago. And I loved it so much because I liked it. Yeah, there you go. No, but 40 years ago, so I would have been 22. So I loved it so much, and I stayed in that industry. And unfortunately, in Yakima, Central Washington, where I was, that Nordstrom closed. So all of us had to find new jobs. I ended up doing a lot of things with mineral makeup, and I just loved it so much that I thought, I should just keep with this industry. I've invested so much. And so I decided I'm just going to go back to school. And I was 48 when I went back to school. So I had raised the children, but I also did a lot on the weekends for I worked for Shiseido, I worked for Estee Lauder, I worked for Macy's. Anyways, all of that to say, I went back to school, and that's when I officially got into just specifically aesthetics. But the beginning was a makeup artist for Estee Lauder.
So you started your med spa 10 years ago. How did that come about? What did you decide one day, hey, I want to just open a med spa?
No.
Tell me a little bit more in how did you start out? We have people who are buy a med spa. I have had interviewed, and I also have clients who have bought a med spa, some clients who started in a single room, some clients who, took their book of business and started their own. How did you get into this thing?
So my husband moved me. We were in Central Washington, and he moved me to Oregon, to Eugene. And so I basically had an aesthetics practice up there. Moved back, thought, I'm not going to start that all over. Worked for a local retailer, and it just wasn't for me because I really am an entrepreneur. So I heard this gal talking about doing laser treatments, and she was looking for someone that had never been trained. And because I had my aesthetic license, I went and applied for it. She gave me the job, and I loved it. And it was completely different because aesthetics, I wasn't working with doctors, and I wasn't working in a medical field. All of a sudden, I was helping him with fillers and Botox, and I loved it. I was learning laser hair removal, skin rejuvenation, things. So it was a brand new world for me. And I think that's one of the things for me as an entrepreneur. You're always learning in this field, and you think you've got it mastered, and there's a new modality that comes out, something, it's changing. It's changing weekly almost. So I worked for her. She wanted me to buy the business from her, and I just literally couldn't afford it. She eventually closed her business, and I went into a salon and bought one laser for laser hair removal, and I killed it. And that's the beginning. And then the doctor that I had worked with had said to me, Michele, if you ever need an injector, I would love to inject for you. So that was the beginning. And I was literally in a hair salon of all things, working in one room, added the doctor, added a second room, and then I went to my second location after that. But it was a good start for me because so many people were going through the doors that they just kept coming back.
Well, you really oversimplify that. I love it. You're like, so many people are coming back. I mean, what a good problem to have. But it's not as pretty as it sounds, okay? And I want to get into that.
No. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Neil. This is what I meant by that. There were people coming through the doors to get like like their haircuts. So that's what I mean. So that kind of advertising was just foot traffic and word of mouth. There was zero advertising at that point. That was probably my biggest weakness.
You know, I have 3 spas right now, and all of them are salon suites because I don't have the time to grow a spa right now. I'm helping entrepreneurs like you grow their businesses. That's my primary occupation. But I will tell you that through having that lean model, I was able to do kind of what, to piggyback a little bit of what you had is, I get visibility from 20 other suite owners, right? Because people are going in and out. And my suite, at least in my Tennessee location, which was my first one, is the first one when they walk in. So they see it, and I have a beautiful door wrap that says Iconic Spa on it, and people are like, "Ooh, what's there?" Right?
Yeah.
And
yes.
I think hairstylists actually, for the most part, they're, I don't know. I don't. This is not a stab at hairstylists. They're not building $1 million business, but unless they have a bigger salon, but they have really amazing relationships with their clients. So they're getting consistently that recurring clientele to come back. Their books are usually full. Their people trust them, and they have like that vulnerability. So I want to partner with hairstylists as a med spa because they
yes.
If they recommend something to their clients, they're listening, right? Because they have those, they gossip a lot with each other, and they have that, girlfriend vulnerability relationship. So I want to make sure that I partner with hairstylists. So we have 2 hairstylists in our salon suites that actually became our clients and now are referral partners, which is great. So I know you piggybacked. You said, hey, I piggybacked off of the salon, and then you said you started with laser hair removal, right? That was, and 10 years ago, laser hair removal was just kind of like the hot thing. Now everybody does it, right? And then you have like the chains that do, the Milan Laser does it, whatever. But you start with laser hair removal. Let's kind of talk a little bit about those humble beginnings, like, how did you get clients? You shared a little bit on that. Maybe we can talk more about it. How did you get clients? You said, hey, clients just kept coming back. I was getting referrals, and then I added a doctor who helped me with injections. So like, I want to hear a little bit more about, phase 1, and then we'll talk about the growth.
Yes. Well, phase 1 was really impeccable service. I did awesome treatments, and I had worked at Nordstrom, so customer service was just drilled into my head. And so that, I think, set me apart because I was dealing with plastic surgeons. My competition was plastic surgeons, dermatologists. There really weren't any med spas. And I was really just kind of like a lone laser clinic for laser hair removal. I later added the IPL, but I made sure that my prices were a little bit less, and I made sure that my service was way better. And I took my time, and I'm a personable person. I like people. And so I think that was the beginning. And then I had a person that came in, it was a customer, and he goes, I'm going to change your life. He said, I'm going to write a review, and I want you to start asking people to write a review for you. And I had no idea how important that was. But then I started getting those reviews, and people look at reviews. People want to know who's good, what the average Joe is saying about that clinic. And that helped me.
Yeah. I think reviews are huge. I mean, for any service type businesses, I think reviews are huge because people buy services from people. Therefore, people care what people think about those services, right? Like I love good restaurants, right? And I'm always like, wherever I go, I'm like, best restaurant near me, open now, steak,
Totally.
right?
Yes.
And then I'll look at the ratings, then I'll read the reviews, right? And similarly for med spas, it's super important to make sure that like, hey, I'm picking the best choice for me. How fast did you get reviews?
It took a while, but I did exactly what he said. I knew I wasn't the smartest one, but I was going to do the things that I knew that could make a difference. And so I think it was 2000. I think he gave me a review. It must have been 2015. But I think I still have really good reviews. I haven't checked lately, but I have stellar reviews, and which is hard in 10 years. You're going to get disgruntled people for sure. But I hallmarked my business on that and what the person says about us, before, after, and during.
96 5-star reviews.
96?
96.
That's awesome.
96 5-star reviews. Let's see how many I have. 95.
Don't do that. Don't do that during your podcast.
95.
Are they good? You have 95?
95 in a year, which is good.
Stop it. You couldn't wait to beat me.
Soon enough, Michele. Soon enough. If you're watching this podcast, leave me a review.
Absolutely.
And leave Michele a review. We love reviews. Okay, so you got a lot of good reviews, impeccable service. You asked, tell me, Michele, you're not shy. So you ask for referrals, right? What do you think is, a good way, to ask for referrals? Because I feel like a lot of people don't even ask.
Well, I ask for referrals with people that I go to. So it's easy. Like if I go to a gym, you know what I mean? I'm always on the lookout for referrals. And so if I'm going into a place and I'm, kind and I have the best interest for both of us, they're going to do the same thing for me. So it wasn't hard for me to ask for referrals.
What about from clients? Like, hey, you're happy, I got your results. Send me your mom.
Yeah. You know what? And we've tried loyalty cards. We've done different things that have incentivized that. And it definitely does work. I'm more organic in the sense that yes, you can put in all that hard work. I want them to love my business so much that they can't wait to talk about me the next time they go to lunch with someone, because I want it to be that different.
And how do you accomplish
real.
that?
I want what's that?
How do you accomplish that experience?
I think it's in the
factor.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's in the treatment room. I care enough. I ask people what they want. What are they looking for? I know I can deliver the results, or I'll refer them to someone else. But honestly, it is caring about them and what they want and doing that treatment so well. And they know they couldn't have gotten that anywhere else. And so much of it is personality. So much of it is caring about that person. I don't know if it's taught.
And how do you teach that to your staff? Because you expect all of your patients and your clients to have that experience. And I know that you are the owner. You kind of, a lot of times as owners, we are the brand. I know for me, like I use, a lot of people know my personal brand, so they come to work with my agency, but I also want to make sure that that trickles down to the rest of my staff. So how do you do that to maintain that alignment and consistency with your staff?
Yes. Well, I don't do it perfectly, that's for sure. But I do take them in the treatment room. I do teach them. They have to watch me. They have to listen to me. I don't just send them off and expect them to know that. They learn a lot from me in the sense that when I go into a treatment room, I'm asking that patient, okay, so you're here. This is what we're doing. Just making sure we're all on the same page. How did you hear about us? I ask them questions to get them talking. I don't want to be the one that's doing all the talking. So it's building rapport, obviously. And then and then you have to deliver. I mean, you have to be able to deliver exceptional results.
Yeah. And why do you think that Absolute Laser MD delivers those exceptional results? Because a lot of people say they do, but I want to get into your differentiation that allows you to be successful.
I learned from a person that was phenomenal. She used to teach doctors. And so there was a really fine line between things like, well, we have exceptional equipment for one. So number one, you have to be able to do what you say you're going to do. So our equipment is phenomenal. I had excellent training. I knew that she was the best of the best because she taught doctors. And so I learned and feel really confident in doing a treatment. And it's interesting because you can tell when you're teaching your staff, some are more comfortable doing that. Some of it is, I have one gal that is phenomenal. She's like a mini me. There's another one that it's so much more difficult for her because she's highly administrative. So I think finding the right personality, people, I don't know if you could teach personality. Some people naturally care more. Some are more administrative. This girl takes phenomenal treatment notes. She makes sure they get pre and post, and she's so on top of other things. So I think you have to find the right person for that job. And fortunately, so far, I've been able to find the person with the personality, and then I'm able to teach what I know.
Let's go back to talk about phase 2 of your growth. So you were in a single room doing laser hair removal, slinging laser hair removal. Then
all day long.
All day long. It was so funny. One of my past guests, she was like, I was just slanging facials for a long time. It was so funny. And guess what? Sometimes you have to just do a lot of one thing, and you get good at it, and then you become known for it, and then you just, and you do a lot of that, and then you upgrade, kind of like you did, right? You were the laser hair removal gal, Absolute Laser MD. Was it Absolute Laser MD back there too? Or was it something else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it started as Absolute Laser MD.
Okay. So, but MD, like medical director?
Well, at the time to have a clinic in 2015, you had to have oversight from a doctor.
Gotcha. So Absolute Laser MD, laser hair removal, you added injectables. How did that impact your business?
It was great. He was only able to work, like a short amount of time. So I had to kind of work around that. I added more modalities for myself, and that's how I built it. And then I added another technician. We moved to a space that had 4 treatment rooms is how I grew it, and added staff.
You love shortcutting these things for me. I'm going to ask for more details.
Okay, so I added more staff. Well, what really happened was there was a perfect storm that happened for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to know, I'm a marketing guy. I'm a growth. I love growth. I love strategy. I love marketing. I love sales. That's the world I live in. So I find it intriguing of those different stages, right? Because it's you got your 0 to 10, you kind of swim in that, and then you do your 10 to 20, 25, then you get your 25 to 50 is another growth period, right? Where you're making tremendous strides. And then your 50 to 100 is a quantum leap, right? And past 100, you're starting to have that consistency and you're starting to really, determine that local footprint. And then it's domination after that. So, so you were doing what? What were you doing at that time when you were doing injectables and then laser hair removal? And what kind of marketing did you utilize at that time to get to that next level when you added some rooms and you added staff? Because you have to have money in the bank to add staff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I worked 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday when I was in that little treatment room, because I had borrowed money from myself, and my husband said to me, you've got to pay us back. And so I always had that hanging over my head that I had to pay that equipment off. So once I saw how quickly I could pay it off, then I bought another laser. So then that was the one that I had like photofacials and skin rejuvenation and that type of a thing. I had the doctor that was injectables. That wasn't that much money. What happened next was I added that second person, another laser tech like myself. And then that was kind of an aha moment because I could see, wow, she can do not the same as me, but she can definitely compete with those. We had 2 rooms at the time. And so I realized how important it was to have staff. And so I just fed that. Then we moved to the 4 rooms, and with that, a perfect storm kind of happened for me in 2018 in Oregon. They created a second tier for estheticians. So estheticians could use lasers at that time. They decided we're going to create an advanced tier. So everybody was then going to have to go back to school. So I was grandfathered in because I'd worked for a doctor. So the next thing that I did was I had those 4 treatment rooms. I added a training for advanced aesthetics. So I added a little school. So that was the next thing that I did that added income. It wasn't necessarily more marketing for me. I added that school.
I'm still missing some pieces. We're gonna dive into. I'm gonna get it out of you.
Drag it out of me.
So you got the laser. So that means you were solving more pain points for probably your existing clients. You're able to start getting into like the anti-aging, skin rejuvenation, resurfacing, whatever type things. And then how did you get new clients at the time? Did it just spread like wildfire, word of mouth?
Oh, yeah. No, I did small advertising. I was like the Eugene Weekly. I did some local. I mean, I really didn't know how. I mean, now I know how, but I didn't at the time. So I'd put little ads in I didn't have an advertising agency at all. I mean, that wasn't even on my radar screen. Remember, I only had 4 treatment rooms. So 2 of them were for skin rejuvenation. The doctor used one, and then we were teaching a little bit on the other one. So I didn't have so much business that I was I had enough business that I wasn't really advertising that much at that point. That came later.
Okay, let's go there. Tell me more.
Let's go there. So
we'll call it phase 3.
Yeah. Well, COVID hit. All of a sudden, my clinic shut down. I'm in Oregon, and so the governor says, no, nobody's doing that for a while. So then I realized the importance of advertising. And so I literally, everything that I could do, it was very important for me. And I had other people helping me with that as well. Like, if you have a friend that comes in, we'll give her, 50% off that treatment, and we'll give you 25% off that treatment. So we did things like that. That was our advertising. And we worked with an agency. That one wasn't the best for us. It wasn't the best fit. Google ads, we did that.
Okay. How did that work out for you?
Like it works out for everyone. It's just such a small little splat at it that it does. It's not long term.
Yeah, I think I did in my YouTube series that I'm launching here, I broke down Google versus Meta, and I'm a Meta ads guy. You see my ads everywhere because I want to be everywhere, and I think that Google ads is a very custom formula based on market, treatment, seasonality, and then population, where you have the perfect combination of all these things. So you have a lot of people searching for a specific treatment or a service, throughout the year, which typically requires a more, I would call it mature audience, meaning mature as in an audience that knows exactly what they're looking for. But I will tell you this, one, that means it's going to be a lot more expensive And two, doesn't mean they're going to buy. It just means that they have a higher intent, but doesn't mean they're going to buy. It just means that they're looking for it more intentionally. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to go and like seek multiple providers, etc. So that's like with what we do at Patient Engine is like we put the need in, or we create that desire, and we bring that pain point out of them because we put the ads out in front of them. I know that I launched my spa in Birmingham recently in Alabama, and we did a combination of paid ads, and we also started optimizing our SEO. And with that, we kind of were able to hit the market really strong. And, we're having people call like, hey, like, we didn't even know there was a type of provider that does this in the area, right? So, which is cool.
Nice.
Which is really cool, right? Because otherwise, like, like I don't want to have to go through your like the amazing battle you've gone through where you're like, hey, I'm gonna go one treatment room, word of mouth.
Yes.
Like, but like I said, I applaud all my clients for and my guests for doing that because it's fascinating and it's a journey. Like you said, it's a journey. It took you, well, let's just go to phase 3.5. When did you hit like the 7-figure run rate? Like the monthly run?
A couple of years ago.
So it took you 6 years, right? It took you 6 years to get there.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, hey, like we opened a spa, flooded the gates, and then we're rolling in a dough. It was an uphill battle. So let's talk about 3.5 going into phase 3.5 going into 4. Like, what did you implement both operationally, sales and marketing to really accelerate your growth?
I think what I wasn't smart enough to know how to grow. I really wasn't. I didn't know what I was missing. I hired a business coach and he helped me tremendously. So that was the one thing that I did. And then he systematically took me through, here's what you need to do. And my advertising budget at the time was ridiculously small. I didn't know what percentage I should be spending on advertising. So that helped tremendously. Just getting the knowledge of marketing was so important to building my business. And I had worked so hard, just my personal reputation, that I thought that was almost the only way I could do it. Once I got into marketing and understanding how important it was, it did take off.
Yeah. How much, what, if I may, what did he advise you for what the healthy marketing percentage of revenue
like budget wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was talking 30%.
Wow. I love that. Aggressive. Mm-hmm. I like it. Mm-hmm. Marketing in my spas is my biggest expense. Mind you, my spa isn't my cumulative locations do 7 figures, but like my spas, I have a lot of boutique spas, and they're all in different locations. So besides staff and staffing costs, put devices aside, marketing is my biggest budget, is my biggest expense.
Of course.
Because guess what? And I think part of your lessons learned was, I know that I'm getting existing clients, they're coming back, they're referring, but that always kind of dries out a little bit, right? It certainly dries out a little bit. You're not going to keep all of your clients and all of them happy. It's not possible. What kind of mechanisms did you utilize that were actually successful for marketing and advertising that you paid for?
Okay, one of the smartest things, which if you're doing it how I did it to begin with, I was never following up. I was, you know what I mean? If we paid for it, just the idea of having to call people up and, that was one thing that I was like, wow, keep calling them. They might say no, but we literally followed up with all of these phone calls, and there was like a little funnel of people that we would follow up with, and I didn't give up on them. I I honestly wanted to help them. I thought, if they're even remotely interested, I'm going to continue to call them. It might sound like I'm bugging them, but I believe that there is something that I could do, because I know that what aesthetics did for me and how much it helped me. I knew for a fact, whoever was out there, I knew that I could help them look better, and I knew I could help them feel better. So who doesn't want that phone call? And who doesn't want that nudge or that help? And I'm not a high pressure salesperson. There's been a couple of times when I've said, what you're looking for, we can't give you. But other than that, I know that I can help them. So just having that sense of confidence that I knew I could help that person look and feel better, then I stuck with it. I stuck with it with the marketing. I stuck with it with the phone calls, following up on them. If they hung up on me, I would still give them a call back. I mean, I didn't stop. I honestly felt like there was something there that they had started with that I wasn't going to leave.
Yeah. Well, I started my agency 5 years ago, and it was a totally different time around then. And I think people were a lot more responsive and a lot more respectful of people's time. But that changed. I don't know. There was a shift in society. That's when we added, we built our US-based appointment team for the agency and started calling leads. And we make hundreds and hundreds of phone calls a day to those leads, because exactly of what you said, because that they clicked on the ad, or because there was something that sparked their interest, maybe that they have that pain point that we need to solve. So that helped a lot. And then taking the credit card and deposit on file to get that serious commitment to secure their appointment and making sure they are going to show up, that was a huge differentiator that took my business to the next level as well. And that's exactly what, I've implemented in my practices as well. But let's talk about sales, because, come on, without sales, we're nothing.
That's
right?
all it is. It's the whole point.
We don't have customers. Who's the best salesperson at Absolute Laser MD, Michelle?
It would be me to begin with. But I've kind of stepped back. I'm not in the treatment room, so I have Allie, who does a phenomenal job. We've had to learn, though, because oftentimes salespeople, laser technicians, they will go kind of a lower level in sales. If a person comes in and they're like, oh, I've got age spots, or oh, I feel like, I've got broken capillaries. And I've had to teach them, what is going to be better, 6 treatments or 1 treatment? Because sometimes they'll try just to do 1 treatment. And it's like, you are never going to give them the results that they really want. You need to sell them a package. And that package is designed to help them, long term. They're going to look so much better and feel so much better. And everybody's going to see it. Other people might not see a 1 treatment, but they'll see 6 treatments. They'll see that person looks better. That person's going to feel better. So, yes, my top person is definitely the mini me.
Why do you think they're so good? Or why do you think you're so good at sales?
I don't think of it as sales. I think of it as educating. I mean, it is selling. It's selling, but I think if I'm listening and I'm hearing what that person really wants, and I have the modality to fix it, there's no way they're walking out of my room. They might think about it, but they're coming back for sure. And the difference is, if I can answer that question for them and I can be that answer for them, that there's no way. Why waste my time? Why would you come in for a consultation if I can fix the problem that you have, whether it's laser hair removal or age spots or tattoo removal, whatever it is? If I can answer that, you're going to stay with me. Where are you going to find me anywhere else?
Oh,
they can go down the street and find another age, spot person or whatever. But everything that is wrapped up in me is so much better than that other one that.
Well, I think I coach people in sales a lot, and I coach estheticians, I've coached owners before, and I always tell them, if you're not going to sell them, they're going to go somewhere else. And there's a good chance that spa or whatever type of business it is going to do a shitter job than you.
Totally.
And not to point fingers here at anybody, but it's like, if you believe that you're going to do the best job for your patient and for your client, then you better make sure you damn sell them, because contrary to popular belief, and this is, I'm going to be talking about this forever, I think, people don't buy, you have to sell them. People buy shoes from brands. I'm wearing Chucks. I like Converses, right? Like, no one needs to convince me to buy Chucks, because I already know the brand. It's a brand. It's a consumer brand, right? I don't care who wears them. I like them. I'm going to buy them.
Right.
For services, it's like there's so many spas. It's a very more so decentralized type of business model, and I have so many options. I will read the reviews, and I'm certainly partial to who has the best sales and marketing. Like, as an ads guy, I love seeing targeted ads for things. I'll test stuff out. I'll try stuff. And I certainly know that people have options, and just because they're coming into my practice doesn't mean they're going to buy. In the same way, I train my estheticians to say, hey, when you tell me why they didn't buy, I expect you to tell me why you didn't sell. It is your responsibility to influence the client, to help them make that right decision, like you said, to educate them, because we want to help them.
Absolutely.
And guess what? People are bombarded with information these days, and they can't put stuff together in their heads as is. So you have to make it as easier for them as possible to really to make that choice clear for them,
It's so true, Neil. We were talking kind of in a language above our patients, and I didn't even know it. I was talking about hyperpigmentation and broken capillaries, and then I realized they really are looking at their skin and they're going, I have brown spots. They don't even say sunspots or age spots. And so we had to dumb things down and talk like they talked, because we were so clinical sounding, and it was like, no, sound like their friend, or you know what I mean? Sound like somebody that understands their problem and talk the language that, I mean, of course, if a doctor comes in or if a nurse comes in, you can up your game, but for the regular person walking in off the street, they don't know the things that you know. And so you want to make it as seamless and as simple and as easy. And yes, we can solve that problem. Yes, we have the perfect equipment. Yes, we can do it today. Yes.
I love that
you just say yes.
I love that you say, I was talking to a somebody who was referred to me today for marketing, and I was talking to her about the devices and the caveats behind the device, because it's important the way we market it and marketing claims and stuff like that. And she was like, honestly, Neil, I don't really give a shit. I just tell them, here's what I can help you with. And they're fine with that, because they don't care about the technology, which is exactly what you're echoing. And it's like, we have to, when we talk to people these days, because we are bombarded by so much information, we have to talk in a very, like you said, very simple, cohesive, elementary way. That's like, hey, here's your problem. Here's how we can help you. Here's how long it's going to take. Here's what we need. Here's some expectations. If you need more education, we're happy to answer more questions. And here's really what we can do for you, how much it's going to cost, and what else can we do to help you make this decision.
Absolutely. Solve the problem.
I love that. What kind of...
They've come in because they have a problem, and you can solve it. And solve it as easily, as efficiently, and seamlessly, and get them in get them out and make them happy. I mean, it's just such an easy combination. And trust me, it's finding the right people. You have to have the right people, because I have had people that have worked for me that literally I could tell they were such the wrong fit so quick, because they wanted to sit in front of the computer, and it was like, that's not going to be where you're at. You have to converse with people. You have to talk with them. You have to get comfortable with it. You have to be able to talk about the products. You have to know it, and if you're not comfortable and you're fumbling around, that is not going to look good for anyone.
Yeah. What are your plans? What are your goals? What is your vision for your business, for your brand?
We have moved 1, 2, 3 times, and I can just see it's growing. We are almost out of the space that we have now. I purchased it's a large office. It was designed for 2 dentists, and I put the school on one side, the med spa on the other. I think we're gonna move, but we're going to continue marketing. We are going to continue with our service, probably add a couple more modalities, and then we'll make one more move, and then I'll retire.
What does that mean?
Retire?
Yeah, like you're gonna exit the business. Yes.
I'll have a manager.
I don't see Michele Strobel retiring so easily. I think
it's so funny. I am 62. I'm the oldest esthetician still working. I'm sure of it, but I will eventually, for sure.
What kind of advice, as a 7-figure med spa owner, what kind of advice would you give to other med spa owners who are looking to grow or improve their businesses? Like maybe 1 or 2 key pieces of advice. You've been in this game for a while now, almost 10 years. You've really had gone through the ups and downs. And you start from ground zero, and you've gotten yourself to have a really awesome brand in your area. But what would that be?
Literally, it's your people. You have to have a menu. You have to have the people that are servicing. You have to advertise. People don't realize how important advertising is. I didn't for years, and it's such a game changer. Advertising is huge. Know who you are and be able to deliver.
Yeah. Let's get into some fun questions here. Some very unrelated questions.
They're all fun.
They're all fun. Yeah. What's your worst character trait about yourself, Michele? What do you think?
I think I'm ADHD, never was diagnosed, so I can be very disorganized.
Disorganized. Yeah. It's so interesting. I'm going to say this because I love it. A gentleman I interviewed, Dr. Ben, I want to add this into my consultation process. He said, the first question we ask our new patients is not what would you like to improve about yourself, which I think is a really good question as well. But he said, what do you love about yourself? And I was like, man, that's
good.
I love that. I'm like,
it's good.
Right after we get off, yeah. Michele, I'm calling my staff, and we're adding that into the SOP like today.
For a patient, for a client that's coming in, I think a really good question is, how did you hear about us?
Well, that's to help track your marketing, right?
Yeah. How'd you hear about us? Well, it opens them up to communicate, and not specifically about their problem.
Yeah. You have to build a relationship and relate to them fast.
I think so. And it's easy. It's easier for me because I've done it for so long. Okay. What was your question though for me? Did you have a question?
I mean, I'm going to say this to you is maybe physically, because we're talking about, we're in an aesthetics industry. What do you love about yourself physically?
Well, if you just said, what do you love about yourself? I would say my personality. Because
that's exactly
I'm outgoing and I love people.
What Dr. Ben said. I said physically.
Physically, I'm healthy and I'm athletic. I would say that is something that I work hard at, and it's not easy at 62.
I love that. Michele, it's been so great to have you on here. I'm sure you like, even though you're all over the map, you would love, I'm sure people would benefit from networking with you, and I'm sure you love supporting other spa owners and promoting our industry. How can people connect with you and find you?
Oh, they can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me, they can email, look at us, find us at work. You text our work number. That's how they can find me. I love our industry. Oh my goodness, it's given me so much. I was on the state board in Oregon, and I only took that position because I loved the industry so much, because it's given me so much. And I'm a grateful person for what I have been given. I love giving back to others. So yes, people can find me.
Absolute Laser MD is .com.
Yes.
And then is it Absolute Laser MD on Instagram as well?
Yes. Yes.
And then I think you have a personal Instagram as well, but it's fine. I know everything. Michele, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you, and we look forward to having you again soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.